All right, Khan. Shalom, shalom. His brother Mawasar.
Shalom, Mr. Brother Shamawa all.
Khan, we going into, you see the title, What is Faith? You know what I'm saying? Something you hear about all the time. Faith this, faith that. You know, you hear it in the world, you hear it at church. Everybody talk about faith. But what do what do the Bible actually say about faith? Like, what is it? How do you know you got it? This, that, and the third. That's exactly what we're going into, right? You came to the right video. I'm gonna let the brother Shemawa kick it off.
All right. As we like brother was saying, we're going into what is faith, right? And if you go into the definition of faith, right, it literally similarities, it has confidence. So when you have faith, in the Lord, you really having confidence in the Lord that He will present you those things that that you have hope for. A car, job, more wisdom and knowledge, and things of that manner. You have faith that He will grant you those things. You have confidence that He will grant you those things, especially in the time of adversity. David was in those situations. Judas Maccabees, he was in that situation. Our forefathers in that situation, and they had confidence in the Lord that He would bring them out of that tribulation. Right. So I'm gonna go to Proverbs, right, chapter 3 and verse 26. It says, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken." Right. So what is faith? It's confidence in the Lord. So when you read, Solomon said, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence." So yeah. Um, the Lord had me to say this before. 99% of your confidence is to the Lord. Yo, 99% of faith is towards the Most High. Then you have confidence in yourself. That's only like 1%. So, but majority of your confidence is towards the Lord. So it's similar to having faith because you literally having confidence and hope, right? All those similar. I wish we could bring out the definition, but Lord willing, we can invest in a laptop, right? But we can, share our screen and let you know the definition because it says hope, confidence, and other words as well. So, I mean, when you have confidence in the Lord, that's actually faith, right? I'm gonna bring out another precept, Hebrews chapter 10. Bring that out. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35, right? Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35. It says, "Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have great recompense of reward." Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, right? Don't be faithless towards the Most High. Don't cast away your confidence because a wise brother said, you know, Esau can take away everything, your house, your car, clothes, shoes. He could take away everything, the money, everything, this whole kingdom, not even ours anyway. He can take it. But what he can't take is your faith, your confidence towards the Lord, right? But the brother got it.
So like the brother's going into, man. And I want to get verse 38 of Hebrews chapter 10 because I actually like that. It says, "Now the just shall live by faith." Right? The just, we know that's the people, that's the righteous, that's the people that want to follow the Most High. He said they're going to live by faith. You know what I'm saying? Like it say Esau was going to live by his sword, man. We supposed to live by faith. We supposed to live by that, like he said, that confidence. Like, hey, the Most High got me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be all right. You know, you got to have that faith like David had. And a matter of fact, I want to get an example of that faith. And then I want to jump back to Hebrews. Because all our fourth, I mean, Job had tremendous faith to go through what he went through and to still have confidence in the Most High. But this is Psalms chapter 3 in verse number 6. It says, "I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about." Now, you got to really picture this. This man saying 10,000 people can surround him and he won't be afraid. I mean, that's pure faith. That's pure faith. We done been in situations, all three of these brothers on this call right now have been in a situation where we even had 10,000 plus people on the other side of us. And brothers didn't faint, man. We wasn't like all afraid, and then nobody couldn't run, and you know what I'm saying, dropped their Bible and their apocrypha ripped in half, and they almost tripped, but they got up out of there. No, we've been in this situation literally where brothers displayed a tremendous amount of confidence in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go back to Hebrews 11, and we can just start at verse 1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So like faith is not something you can feel with your hands. You can't bottle it up and put a top on it. Faith is something you just got. It's a state of mind knowing, hey, the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, you got me. It's the evidence of things not seen. Because in the world, they tell you seeing is believing. That's a big cliche. You know what I'm saying? They like to say they don't believe in the Most High because they can't see him. But it's a lot of other things that we can't see, but yet we know and we believe that. You can't see the wind, but you know it's there. You know? So it's a lot of other carnal things that we know is there, but we can't see it. So you got to be able to have faith. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no faith, what do you really have? I'm going to drop down to verse 3. It says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, which we know is Yahweh Shai and the angels. So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. So even the things that we see that are made, they were made by things we can't see. You can't see an angel sitting next to you. You know what I'm saying? Not in that form that they're talking about right here. You know, you can't see the Most High. However, you can see his works. You can see the things he created. You can see people who came in the truth, people who dropped that old man and they picked up the new man. I mean, some of the most wicked people you can imagine. Now all of a sudden, hey, they cleaning up their ways. They're not stealing, killing, and robbing no more. That's how we see, oh yeah, there is the Most High God up there. But with that, I yield.
I got a point. A brother gonna have to put a precepts for me. I'm driving back from the plantation right now, but brother could pull Hebrews 11 and 6, and then after that John 20, and you can start at verse 26. But pull Hebrews 11 and 6 first.
I got you. What was that second precept? John 20 and what?
And 20 and 26, I believe.
Okay, come on, I'm just hold that for you, and then I'm gonna jump into Hebrews 20 and 26. Come. Okay, this Hebrews chapter 11 and verse number 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and
Right.
that
So
he is a
without, you can keep reading my book. You can finish it.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right. So without faith, it's impossible to even serve the Most High, even be in this truth. Right? People, why do you think people still stuck in the world? Why do you think people still stuck on these doctrines? They don't truly have faith in the scriptures that they read. Right? They just reading them just to read them. Right? And without faith, right, even for people in the truth, right, it's going to be impossible for you to get the kingdom. It's going to be impossible for you to, serve the Lord. It's going to be impossible for you to fall and get back up. Right? Because without faith, you're going to fall and you're not going to get back up. That's why the brother said the just shall live by faith. Right? Because the just man, he's going to get back up every time he falls. Right? But without this, he would never be able to do. Faith is a mighty work, right, to have. Right? It's a mighty gift to even have. Right? That's what makes you righteous through the Spirit. Right? It's having your faith. It's going to push you to do mighty works. It's going to push you to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? We could read that precept again.
Khan, this is Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right? And that comes with diligently seeking the Lord. If you want a reward, you got to diligently seek the Most High God. Right? That's what faith is. Being diligent in things. Right? Doing things like the brother said in the first verse. Right? You can't see you can't see the kingdom. You can't see Yahweh Shai. You can't see the Most High. You can't see having 1,000. You can't see none of these things. You can't see the reward. You can't see a crown on your head. But you diligently seeking Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai so that you could get that. Right? It's just like going, and this is just simple, right? It's like being a Christian. I mean, not a Christian, but it's like seeking the job, right? You're saying, hey, I believe I'm gonna get a job. but you're not applying to get the job, right? Meaning you're not doing that work, right? You're never going to get a job, right? So if you're not having faith and diligently doing the work that's going to get you that reward, you're not going to get the kingdom, right? You're not going to get what you need, right? Because the Most High not going to give it to you because you're not showing any faith, right? Now, you could go to John 20 and 26 now. Start at verse 25.
This is the book of John, chapter 20, and verse number 25. It says, the other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe.
Right, and that's a problem, right? Why did Thomas say, if I don't see something physical, I'm not going to believe Yahushua was here, right? When all the other disciples, they was like, hey, we seen the Lord, man, right? We seen the Lord, right? They have faith, right? This man said, if I don't see no fingerprints, if this ain't happening, if that ain't happening, I ain't truly see the Most High God, right? I didn't see Yahushua, right? Hey, that's what people do. That's how they move, right? If they not getting everything that they praying for, everything that they asking for, everything that they crying about, right? Hey, then they stop believing the Lord because they didn't see something come to pass, right? And that's why you got to diligently seek the Lord, because you're gonna know through the Spirit, and the Lord is right next to you at all times. Right? You're gonna know that you don't need to see anything physical, right? Because you know that you diligently seek Him, He's gonna reward you, whether it's on this earth or whether you get the kingdom, right? You can keep reading.
Salaki. Verse 26, and after 8 days, again his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing.
All right, keep reading.
And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my God. Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
And the Lord said out His own mouth, blessed are they, right? That that they still got faith and they didn't even see the Lord, right? Hey, none of us seen Yahushua, right? So it's a blessing to be able to even have this faith and to continue to endure, to reject evil, to be diligent in the work, right? That we, certain things ain't become the past. Right? You got elders in the truth, right? That's been grinding at this truth for decades and decades, right? And they're just now starting to see a lot of the prophecies unfold, right? Hey, you never know, right? God forbid that we're still here in 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, right? But you may not see certain prophecies come to pass if we are still here, right? Are you going to still be in this truth? Or are you going to give up, right? Because you didn't get to see the Lord crack the sky, right? And get beamed up in the chariot, right? It's about endurance and diligently seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? Even when you at a low point through the Spirit, right? Right? We could, every brother on this call could, testify about that. Being through a low point through the Spirit, right? They just feel like they just waxing worse. They feel stagnant. They're not on fire for a long time. They fall in the spirits, right? They're still diligently seeking the Lord because they believe that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will allow them to get back on fire and allow them to endure to the end, right? I got one more scripture, right? And I want you to pull, I believe it's Psalms 86 and verse number 12. If it ain't that, you could just pull Luke 24 and 32, and then I'll yield with
that. This is Psalms chapter 86 and verse 12. And if it's not it, just cut me off. Okay. It says, I will praise thee, O Lord my God, with all my heart, and I will glorify thy name forever. For great is thy mercy toward me, and thou hast...
Try verse 32.
It stopped at verse 17.
Never mind that. You can go to Luke 24.
Gotcha. Luke chapter 24 and verse number 36.
32.
verse number 32. It says, and they said one to another, did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures?
Right? And that's why it's important to stay abiding in your word, right? Stay exhorting yourself, right? Because some people, they not going, some people, when they going through things, right, they feel like the Lord not with them. They stop going through the precepts. They stop reading. They stop praying. They stop fasting, right? Hard times like that happen to me, right? But I had to remind myself, hey, if I don't got these scriptures, right, I'm not going to ever be able to comfort myself and be on fire, right? I'll be found faithless because then I'll start to wax worse and fall away, right? But it said they hearts burnt within them while he opened the scriptures, right? So as long as you still going hard enough, right? Even if you ain't completely on fire, right? And you slacking in the spirit, right? As long as you opening these scriptures, reading this word, listening to breakdowns, listening to other brothers, teaching on the street, studying, cold cuts, taking your own notes, studying, whatever it is, opening the scriptures, right? And your heart is gonna burn within you, right? If you stay diligent at that, right, and show your faith, right, and the Lord is gonna make you. He's gonna make you great. He's gonna make sure that you're on fire, right? We got to make sure that we keep that fire going, constantly throwing oil in there, constantly throwing it in there, right? We don't want to be lacking any oil, right? We want to be losing our fire and our flame, right? But I yield with that, brothers. Got it.
God, that the brother's bringing it out mighty, man. Before I bring this out, did anybody bring out 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18? Okay, Khan. What the brother was going into, because I mean, what is I mean, faith is something that can't be seen. We don't see the things, like we don't see Yahweh Shai cracking the sky right now. It's a lot of things we didn't see. Our forefathers seen way more than us. We were spoiled, man. We got chariots falling day by night, day and night. We don't see those things. We only see a bare minimum. But I mean, obviously, that's what make our faith, stronger than theirs, because we don't see anything. But that faith is literally strength. That's your strength, man. Without that faith in the Most High God, I mean, it's gone. Right, I'm gonna bring this out. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. Right? And what things that we see that's not seen, man. Right? Destruction of Babylon, man. I mean, if brother don't see it and eyesight, hey, we do imagine it in our heads, man. Brothers have dreams, right? The Lord can send you a dream when all hell break loose, man. And that should increase your faith to keep going in this thing. The Lord has sent you chariot dreams. Hey, it happened to me, right? I had a dream. I'm with my mom, and her husband, and a damn nuke hit the building, man. And I'm trying to save them, you know. And the Lord can do that to increase your faith. Hey, let you know, hey, this what I said, that's what's gonna happen, right? And that can boost your faith, right? Those are the things we haven't seen in our sight, right? Keep reading. It says, for the things which are seen are temporal. And we see, man, all these things out here is temporal, man. This car, that job, the money, the clothes, the shoes, the jewelry, right? All the lust of this world, man. It's nothing but temporal, right? Because if we do look at it, we know it's going to be gone. All right, let me bring this out real quick. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 7. Right, it says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. So all these things in this world, we can't take it with us. We not Hamites. We not Egyptians. We can't die and take all the gold and things with us. We don't do those things, right? We know we can't take it with us, right? So I'm gonna keep reading on 2 Corinthians 14 and 18. Right? It says, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Right? The kingdom, man. The kingdom is forever. It's forevermore, man. Right? Spiritual bodies. Those are the things that we cannot see. But we have faith that we'll be able to get it through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right? So what is faith? Hey, that's confidence in the Lord, man. Right? Confidence in the Lord that he will pardon your sins, man. That he will, light that fire. That he will put oil so that fire can keep burning, man. Right? I got an account, right? Mark chapter 4, right? Brothers know about this, right? Mark chapter 4, verse 36, right? When Yahushua, rebuked the winds, right? It says, and when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship. And there were also with him other little ships, right? And there also, and there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and said unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Be still. And the wind ceased. There was a great calm. Right? This the point. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? Right? So, hey, the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. So if you literally in a situation and you starting to get anxiety, you scared and things, hey, why your faith is so small, man? And the Lord will put you in those situations just to increase your faith, just to see how you'll react, or you will believe that he would take you out of that situation. So they was frantic, man. So the Lord is letting your confidence in that's your strength. That's all the strength we need. It's not with man. Our strength is not towards man. Let me bring that out. Psalms, I believe that's Psalms 121. All right, I believe that's Psalms 121. Because our strength don't comes from man or your anger, right? Or your zeal. That don't no. Psalms 121 and verse 2, it says, My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Right now, I'm 124. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 124 and verse. Let me see. Right, let me see. Salakia. I think that's 118. Right, 118. Psalms 118 and verse 8. Salakia. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. So, right, you can't put confidence within yourself. Like I say, that's only 1%. Right, all majority of that faith is towards the Lord. So them being frantic of the sea, right? The sea was all the waves and the water was coming into the ship, and Yahushua sleep, man. He not worrying about nothing. He doing the work. That was the first time he slept. He cool. But then you got Israel panicking, right? They panicking and frantic, wake him up out of his sleep. And he rebuked the winds with no type of worry or anything. And they shocked, thinking that he was supposed to say, Yahushua is just supposed to be there all the time. As you see, Yahushua is not here until he cracked the sky. So you have to put in the work to increase your faith, like that brother was saying. And also, that is your strength, right? So I'm going to read that again. All right, Salakia. And then brothers got it. Right? Right, Mark chapter 4, verse 40. It says, And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? Right? So if you fearful and the anxiety and you panic, you have a panic attacks, you breathing hard, you wheezing and stuff like that. Hey, you have no faith from the Lord, and the Lord sees that. Right? So that is your strength. That's literally what you rely on. You literally hope for the Most High to wake you up. And if you don't hope for that, I mean, something wrong with you, man. But you got it,
I found the precept I was looking for, and then you got it. Psalms 139, and you can start at verse number 7.
All right, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 7. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
Right? So David said, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. So when all things are going good in his life, right, he's ruling over the nation, in prosperity, right? All his enemies, right? He ain't got no tribulation going on, right? And he knows, right? He believes, right? His faith helps him know that the Most High is there, holding his hand, guiding him, pushing him through, right? He knows that, right? So when things go, because everybody knows it's a precept in Sirach 11. We ain't got to grab it, but Sirach 11 and 25, right? roughly paraphrasing, saying a day of prosperity, right? Right, you forget about affliction, right? But in in the day of affliction, people forget about prosperity, right? But David, right, his faith was so high on another level, right? And his prosperity in heaven, right? He knew that the Most High was there, right? He knew that the Most High was with him, guiding him and directing his path, right? That's why he stayed diligent, right? Keep reading.
Come. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there.
Right? He also knew that if he was going through hell, right, he had Saul trying to kill him. He had all these nations trying to come and kill him and dethrone him, right? He had all these afflictions, right? His family just wicked as hell, his children being wicked as hell, right? He knew that during his affliction that the Most High was still holding his hand, directing his path, leading him the right way, so that he could have an everlasting name. Right? He knew no matter what it was, right? He didn't just give up on the Most High and lose faith because he was going through hell, right? This isn't him just, right? David, the Most High, right? This is a cut also for you people that say that hell is a physical place, right? Because why would the Most High be in hell with David if he was a wicked man, right? But anyways, right? He said, if thou art in hell, right? The Most High is gonna still be there, right? So you got to put that in your own mind to know that when you go off, or you catch a hell, you going through tribulation, that the Most High is still with you if you have faith, right? But I yield, brothers got it.
Kind, a brother bringing out a mighty point. Why would David even be in hell? You know, I mean, the Lord said he was perfect, man. How perfect people going to hell, getting tortured and poked with pitchforks and just burning for eternity? It just doesn't make sense. But let's get back to the point, right? I want to get a mighty example of faith in the scriptures, but first I'm gonna bring out this verse in Sirach chapter 2. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus out of Apocrypha. In verse 2, in verse 12, so it says, woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands and a sinner that go up two ways. It says death and destruction to the ones who have fearful hearts. Ain't it in the law that if you were scared, you had to go home? It's in the law. If you scared, you got to go home, because if I'm next to you and I got faith, you can make my faith. You kind of make me like, man, I don't know. Maybe we can't beat the Assyrians, man. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Esau maybe Amalek might have the upper hand on us. I mean, the brother next to me, I thought he was mighty. I guess, who knows? The Most High can't have none of that. Verse 13, it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. It said, if you don't believe, you don't get no defense. Just imagine that. Imagine you know about the truth. You know that you done learn Yahweh shall crack the firmament, come save his people, and you done learned about the getting beamed up, and you done learn all this stuff. And then you just become faint-hearted. Well, I don't know. Galatians 3 did say this. You know, Paul did say in Romans, he said that. You start to get faint-hearted. You know what I'm saying? Your mama probably get in your ear like, oh, I had this happen to me, man. Not with my mother, but with my grandma. Talking about the God I serve wouldn't do that. What is that supposed to mean? I mean, the God you serve, I'm reading what he said. So you can't be fake. It says, I'm going to read it again. This is a book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. And you got to understand, everything comes from the Most High. The only thing stopping you from, I was explaining this to somebody that I love very much recently. I live in an open carry state when it comes to firearms. You ain't got to register. You ain't got to do nothing. You got to be the right age to have it. As long as you're 21, you can have whatever G-lock you want. The only thing stopping somebody from losing their mind and Swiss cheese in your car for no reason is the Most High not allowing them to do it. Just think about that. The police, these are people we are used to carrying firearms. We see how they use them. You know what I'm saying? We just seen that situation happen in Springfield, Illinois. The only thing stopping every single cop from just going crazy and just shooting up whatever is in front of them is the Most High not allowing them to do it. So your only defense that you got is if the Most High is like, nah, that ain't gonna happen to this person. Because we see crazy things happen. I mean, just stuff where it's just, let's take the flip side. People who don't have no faith. I mean, just look at all these atheists. I remember it was a joke. I think it was Andrew Scholes was telling. It was this dude who was going around the country doing seminars about how God wasn't real. Kind of find out years down the line, the Most High gave him throat cancer, man. Now, how ironic is that? You going around speaking about how the Most High is not real and this, and that, and then he gives you cancer in your throat. Probably got you know what I'm saying? You probably got a tumor in your neck because you're playing with the Most High, man, because you can't be defended because you don't have no faith. Now, let's get a mighty account of Daniel the prophet having faith. If you haven't read Daniel, I really recommend it because the faith he had, I can only aspire to have that level of faith, man. I can only aspire to have that level of faith. This is Deuteronomy chapter 3. This is Daniel chapter 3 and verse number 14. It says, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? So he asking them, the three holy children, is that true what I'm hearing, that y'all don't want to bow down to my gods? Is it true that this Most High that you serving is more important than my gods? That's what he asking them. Now imagine you delivered up to in front of Joe Biden in a Secret Service, and they asking you, oh, so you really believe in this Israelite stuff, huh? So you're not gonna get down with what we with. You just gonna serve the Most High, huh? What you gonna say? You in there by yourself, your hands tied up. Are you gonna have the same faith that they had? Let's see what type of faith they had. Drop down to verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. So they kind of got smart with him. We ain't gonna take too long to answer you, my guy. The God I serve, he got us. We ain't worried about you. Just imagine. You tell Joe Biden straight to his face in front of his Secret Service and his Secretary of Defense and his House of the Speaker of the whatever, I'm not even tripping. You can throw me in jail. You can try to throw me in the fiery furnace. The God I serve, he got me. I ain't tripping. In front of all his people. He supposed to be the king. This is Nebuchadnezzar. But they telling him, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. That's a high level of faith to know you about to get thrown in the oven. Hey, you ever burnt yourself on a pot? Maybe some grease popped on you. That hurt. Let me tell you. At my job, man, part of what I do, I have to put metal parts in the oven, man. Let me tell you. If you touch that metal part when it come out that oven, I don't care how big, bad, and tough you is, man. That's pain. He told them he was gonna throw them in they whole entire body into a fiery oven. I was just looking this up the other day when I was having a conversation with my family, man. Look, a lot of times when people get burned, first off, it's not a quick death. You don't die in 3 seconds. It was a video we seen, some dude burnt himself up. What was that, in front of the White House or something? I can't remember what it was, but he set the phone up, recorded himself, poured some stuff on, and just set himself on fire. Took him like a minute to fall to the ground. And I like to use this example. Like, you ever did that plank where you got to get on your elbows? It's kind of like a push-up position, but you got to hold yourself up. It's like the little ab workout. You got to do like 60 seconds and all that. I'm sure somebody will know what I'm talking about. That is the longest 60 seconds of your life. You know what I'm saying? You trying not to, because you got to hold yourself up on your elbows in a push-up position and just hold yourself there in the air for as long as you can. It's an ab workout.
Planks.
Yeah, calm. Now imagine that whole time your body is on fire. For 60, I mean, that's a long 60 seconds. However, these three holy children, they was like, man, we ain't worried about all that because we serve the Most High. Hey, if you look it up, a lot of people, they don't even die right away from their burn. You can have 3rd-degree burns and you can survive 3 months in agony. Imagine 90 days, your arm halfway burnt off. I know y'all seen the Joker, man, with Two-Face, his face, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine that, 3 months straight. They wasn't scared of none of that. That's faith right there. Let me finish this off. It says, Daniel chapter 3 and verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury. I mean, he was pissed. He was heated. Like, how dare these, we gonna keep it PG, how dare these Israelites tell me to my face they ain't gonna serve my gods? Like I'm just some type of 304 or something, like I'm soft. He was pissed. And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. So he might have had it at 300 degrees. He said, turn it up to 2100 degrees. You can melt metal at that temperature. That's the temperature they using to melt iron, to shape swords and all that. You can melt metal at 2100 degrees, man. I mean, this is it's probably so hot you can feel it from across the room. I can guarantee you can feel it from across the room, let alone being thrown in there. Now, let's see what happened. I'm going to drop down to verse 22. Verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. So they threw them in there with the 21. That's the thing about faith, right? Just by showing your faith, that doesn't mean you're not going to go through it. The Most High might have okay, I'm going to just throw them in there. I just want to see it. Are they really going to keep that faith? Because they talking good. You know how Jake be, man. Jake trying to play it cool. You know, they might have been like, hey, we ain't tripping. But once they tie you up and you start feeling that heat, they walking you across that room, your face is getting hotter and hotter. Hotter and hotter. Right? Let's keep going. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew the men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And I'm gonna drop down to where is it at? Verse 27. I'm gonna drop down to verse 26. I'm trying to hurry up and finish this up. You got it up. Verse 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. Now, this dude has some faith. Whatever they said to him, this the same dude who threw him in the furnace. Dude, how you throw somebody in the furnace that's 2100 degrees and then you calling their name, hey, y'all come out of there? Because he even had faith after this situation. Verse 27, I'm going to finish it off. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Dude, they didn't even smell like fire. Listen, I didn't had a house fire before, and I'm going to tell you, everything in the house is going to smell like smoke. Everything. And it's going to be in your clothes for weeks. It's going to be in your walls for weeks. They didn't even smell like fire because they kept faith in the Most High. This is what faith is. This is what faith is right here. What you got, right?
See that? Hey, that's a mighty account, man. That's a mighty account. All because they have faith in the Most High God, man. That was their strength. That's literally something that you have, that you don't have anything in this world. That's the only thing you have is the Most High God. That is your strength. So I mean, if you finna die, who you gonna rely on? What are you gonna? You can't rely on yourself. You cornered. It's three male lions. Yes, I say male because they hunt. They good hunters too. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes they go get their food for their husband, right? And the kids, they do it too, right? It's three male lions. What you gonna hope for? I mean, Daniel was in a lion's den, right? I mean, and for one, too, I want to bring this out. I'm gonna go to Matthew chapter 15 because you don't want a heathen to have more faith than you, because they don't have a God. They can't serve the Most High God until the kingdom. That's the time when they're gonna be able to serve him. But they ain't gonna want to do it. But to the fact that they don't have a God and this heathen, right? This woman from Tyre, she got more faith than a lot of these Israelites, man. And that's kind of sad. We're gonna bring this out. Because you don't want to have a heathen to have more faith than you. They don't have a God. We do. So the things that you get in and you leaning on something else, that's madness, man. That's even a cut for me. Right? This Matthew chapter 15. I'm just go to verse 25, right? It says, then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Right? She literally has no help. Her daughter is literally finna die. I mean, she's finna die. She has no help. Nobody can help her. Like literally, nobody. Only the Lord. This is a heathen woman hoping in the Lord, knowing that the Lord is not coming for her. He's not coming for these other nations. He only coming for that lost sheep of the house of Israel. And she's literally having hope that her daughter can be saved, right? From death, right? Verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And getting that, Salakia, getting that explained to her, she still, man, I take the crumbs. It is what it is. I take the crumbs. It could be on the floor. You know, Jake, you know what I'm saying? The last picture chicken, it fall on the floor. He's like, hey, man, I don't care. I'm taking this. I rinse it off. Hey, that's the type of spirit she had, man. This woman.
A 3-second rule.
They don't even say the 3-second rule. Oh, man, ain't no 3 seconds. Man, forget that 3 seconds, man. This chicken, man, we in captivity. You know how Jake get down. Hey, especially when they know a little bit what's going on. Man, right? This the same spirit this heathen had, man. This Hamite. This is what this Hamite had. She said, I'll take the crumbs. That's faith. A heathen woman. It's some brothers out here, they faith are weak, man. And that's how they end up getting scourged by the sun and getting offended by the Most High God. Not knowing that you need to go through this thing and not knowing that, he really trying to build up your faith and see if you really in this thing. Because we got something to prove, man. Right? We got to prove to the Most High God, not to man. Right? We really don't have nothing to prove to men on a certain extent. We really proving everything to the Most High God if we're worthy of the kingdom. Right? If we were to even know his name, knowing the law. Right? I'm going to keep reading. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Hey, that's crazy faith, man. Because what if the Lord give you crumbs in the kingdom? What you gonna say? You gonna buck? What if you get crumbs, man? Hey, it's gonna be least people in the kingdom. Hey, it ain't gonna be everybody with the high offices. Everybody ain't the elect. The Lord already has the elect sealed. The Lord already know who's the elect is. We don't know who Lord willing we are the elect, but you don't know who that is. You don't know who the 1/3 is. Right? We don't know. Everybody's not gonna always be ruling that many kingdoms and have that many slaves. We don't know. Whatever you get, you should be satisfied for it, because it's heathen was. So if you get the crumbs, what you gonna say? You gonna be like, man, I don't need, or you gonna be grateful. Be like, hey, man, I got faith in the Lord. This all I got. Whatever the Lord give me, I'm taking it. If the Lord give me a car, yeah, it ain't 2024, right? It ain't no Tesla truck. Hey man, I don't care, man. All praise to the Most High, right? Then later on down the line, you might end up getting a new whip and it be brand new, man. That's how the Lord do it, right? Read on. It says, then Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. A heathen. The Lord, for one, the Lord didn't have to do that. But hey, but her faith was so crazy. I mean, why not? Not speaking for the Lord, but far as we just speaking as a man, like, hey, man, damn. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to have no heathen to have more faith than you. Because when all hell break loose and Esau, they not gonna know what's going on. And the ones that do, you don't think they ain't gonna be cleaving to the Lord, man? You ain't think they gonna be cleaving to Israelites with fringes when all hell break loose? Hey, that's faith. Then you gonna have some Israelites, they gonna be like, man, forget this and just take their damn fringes off. Damn, they blowing heads off. Everybody got fringes. Man, forget this. But you ain't got faith in the Lord that that Esau won't even scope you. That he'll put you in a safe cave. Like he did to the prophets, the 50 prophets, right? And they was getting food and water. You don't have faith in that? So that's literally strength. And this heathen woman that had no strength at all has strength in the Lord. But you got it. Matter of fact, Salaki, I got one more precept. Salaki, let's go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. To increase your faith as well. Because the Lord literally made everything, right? This should literally give you strength in the Lord because once you know how the Lord works, right? Once you know that he created all things for our sakes, and he put us in situations, things of that manner. I mean, this should help you build strength because he made all things, right? So Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, right? So if you in whatever situation you in, hey, the Lord made that for you, man. He's not gonna give you what you can't handle, right? To give you strength. We only have a little bit of strength. That's all we need. Hey, but the Lord can boost that. And that's faith, man. It's something that you don't have, that you hoping for, right? That's literally that's all we got. Faith, that's all we got, man. That's all we have. Nothing else can save us. Like literally nothing else. You, I like, just far as experience in a car crash, and brothers who have experienced that, you literally getting flipped over. I'm getting flipped over and I can't do anything. I can't just get out. I can't just, I can't do anything. All you could do is think about the Lord, right? And crazy thing is, my mind wasn't on the Lord because you really ain't got no time to think once it happened because it happened so fast. But once you come out, it's like all praise to the Most High. That was the Lord. But when you in certain situations, you have to remember that the Lord put you in this to boost your faith, right? But you gotta.
And speaking of them situations that happen so quick, you don't really have time. Look, I think I brought this out on the video the other week. Man, I was in this county. I was in this city called Mequon. Now, if you're not from Wisconsin, you ain't gonna know what that is. Just know it's like whatever the nicest suburb around your inner city is. That's where I was at. So I was doing these little deliveries, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing these deliveries. I ain't never been over here. I'm just riding. I'm just trying to do my deliveries. I hadn't even started. Literally was on my way to do my first one. I'm riding. I passed the police. I'm just knowing. I know. Listen, my car registered. It's in my name. I know, but they don't care. So I see them turn. You see them make that U-turn. It's like, all right, you already know what's up here. They coming to get me. Now, mind you, I got how I want to say it. I got my open carry on me, right? I got a license and everything. I'm good. However, we know how this goes. So I gotta maneuver, make this turn so I can hurry up, throw this in the glove box, grab my registration, because I'm not gonna be fumbling around. You know what I'm saying? When the police pulled me over, right? Police pulled me over. They stop. I'm in a nice neighborhood. It's so nice. It's only one way in. and it's like a roundabout. All the houses, I mean, they look like mansions, dude. It was amazing to see. I get pulled over, right? Okay, cool. It's a female cop, which just makes it even worse. It's like, oh my God. All right. Get pulled over, come up to my window, license, registration. What you doing out here type of thing. Or I'm just delivering. I got boxes on boxes in the back. I mean, my whole trunk is filled with boxes. You know what I'm saying? So she take my license and registration. She go back to the car. I look back in the rearview mirror, man, there's 2 more police cars behind me. I'm like, she said, this is the reason she pulled me over. She said one of my back lights wasn't working or something, which I believe was true because I had an indication that kept flickering on and off. It'll be on for 10 minutes, off for 20, that type of thing. So I believed it. I knew she wasn't lying. So she come back. Mind you, I'm looking at the 3 police cars, like thinking to myself, what do you need 3 police cars if I just got a light out in the back? I mean, I can just go to AutoZone down the street and, whatever. So she come back, she asking me all these little questions. She trying to get me to lie. You know how the police get. But it's funny. The first thing I did before she even came up to my window, I quoted Proverbs 3:5 to myself out loud. I said, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. I said it out loud. It's the first thing that came to mind. And moral of the story, I'm here talking to y'all. I ain't go to jail. I ain't get no ticket. She let me go. But it's like in that situation, listen, I'm in the suburbs. I'm by myself, some black dude in this rich neighborhood, and they pulled up 3 cars behind me. They got one cop, I can see in the rearview mirror. They got one cop sitting by the driver's seat door, kind of leaned over looking at my car. Then the other one on the other side, on the passenger side, kind of leaned over. Like they just ready for anything to go down, all over the tail light. But the first thing I did in that situation was trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. And I got up out of there. So, like the brother saying, you can't let the heathen have more faith than you. That don't make sense. No, I'm gonna trust in the Most High because He put me in this situation so that I could tell this story to y'all, so I can tell it to my child when he grows up. So if he ever in that situation, first thing I want you to do is call on the name of the Most High. Don't it say to do that in Psalms chapter 50? You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna get that. I just had to get that quick story because y'all have to understand this faith that we go through, this faith that we have, it's not just, it didn't pop up out of nowhere. The Most High really put you in some situations. We just read a situation where somebody got thrown in an oven, getting their faith tested. And what I went through is absolutely nothing compared to what the prophets went through. However, it's still a situation. This can go bad, man. She can say, oh, he moved his hand too quick, and I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? My wife got to take care of my child by herself. I had just had a child, too. My son probably wasn't even 2 months at that point. Just had the baby. But I had that faith, though. Like it said in Sirach chapter 2, woe to those that's faint-hearted. Because they don't believe, you won't be defended. If I didn't believe, man, I'd probably be in jail right now if I was still alive. But the first thing I did was call on the Most High. So I want to get this account. I was going to get James, but we gonna bump that. Right, I want to get my last mighty account of faith. Let's go to the Lord himself. Let's go to what Yahushua did when he was delivered up, and he knew he wasn't going to be delivered from it. It wasn't a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego situation. I hate to use those names. I'm going to say Mishael, Hananiah, and Azariah situation. It wasn't that. He knew, hey, I'm about to die, and it ain't going to be quick. Today is my day to give up the ghost. He knew that was coming. But let's see how he moved. This is John chapter 19 and verse number 4. Pilate, this is Pontius Pilate. Therefore went forth again and saith unto them, behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. So Pontius Pilate couldn't find a reason to crucify this man. So he had to go back to the Jews like, hey, y'all, I mean, what do y'all really want me to, like, what did he do? What did he do? And it says, verse 6, when the chief priest, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, crucify him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, take ye him and crucify him. for I find no fault in him. So he like, man, okay, y'all do it then. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see nothing that he did. This is the heathen saying this. I don't see nothing he did. How about y'all do? It says, the Jews answered him, we have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid, and went again into the judgment hall, and said unto Yahushua, whence art thou? But Yahushua gave him no answer. So after this happened, mind you, Yahushua standing there, he was just scourged. They already put the crown of thorns on him. You know what I'm saying? They was hitting him, all that. He in pain. I mean, he going through it. And yet and still, in this moment, he didn't have nothing to say to this man. He just sat there and looked at him. I'm led to believe. It doesn't say he sat there and looked at him. But I'm led to believe. He just sat there like in pain. He probably had blood in his eye. He couldn't really wipe it out. The thorn kind of went through his nose, and you know what I'm saying? He kind of want to sneeze and blood probably come out. You got to really get into this thing and really make it a cinematic episode so you can really understand what our Lord and Savior really went through. I'm going to keep reading. It says, then saith Pilate unto him, speakest not thou unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee and have power to release thee? So he kind of trying to get on the Lord, like, who you think you is? I'm Pontius Pilate. You ain't gonna answer me. You act like you ain't hear me talking to you. You know, hey, you know how your mama, you know how your mama used to treat you when you was little. Let her say something to you, and you act like you ain't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Let your man. If my pops told me something and I act like I ain't hear it, look, bro. Look, man. I don't even want to imagine what would have happened to me when I was little. So this man is telling Pontius Pilate this, or this Pontius Pilate telling him this. Like, how dare you? Who you think you are? Let's see what the Lord said. With blood dripping down his face, the crown of thorns stabbing him all in his head, going through his bones and almost paralyzing his face. What did he have to say through all of this? Yahushua answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except they were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. Can you do that? This is something I gotta ask myself. Can I have these thorns? Man, I wish we had the laptop so I could show a picture. We not talking about them little thorns, them little 1 millimeter. No. We talking about thorns, dude, like skewers. You know what I'm saying? Them skewers that they make the shish kebabs on, and we talk, but a real thorn, 4 inches long on your head. Now, Jake, if you pull a piece of your hair too hard, it hurt. Now imagine a thorn inside of your head. It went through this side, kind of came out from above your eye. Then this other one kind of went through here, came out your ear. And he still had enough faith to be like, you can't do nothing to me that the Most High didn't let you do. I mean, that's heavy right there. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to really aspire, including me. I was cutting myself this whole lesson because I thought I had faith in that little getting pulled over situation, man. Would I have that much faith in this situation? If they would have pulled me out the car, maybe get on my knees, put the gun in my head and say, stop resisting, even though my hands is handcuffed behind my back, would I be able to still be in that spirit enough to have that faith and be like, hey, if this what the Most High want, it's going to be done. But if not, it won't. And hey, we all got to ask ourselves that every day. Do I have enough faith to go through some of these things that our forefathers went through? Right? But I yield with that.
Come on, praise to the Most High, man. Smarty, man. We do gotta ask ourselves, are we able to go through that? You know, it's gonna like these things that happen the things that happen in our life is very light. These things that we go through is light. You know, this nothing but scrimmages, right? This nothing but a scrimmage, right? Training 1-on-1. Because when a real thing happens, right? Jacob's trouble, right? Beat the saints getting persecuted. When all those things happen, that's when it's really gonna come down of what you've been doing. All right. So when we read these accounts, let's get Matthew chapter 15, Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Really quick. Right, Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Right, Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Right? Hope, what you have hope of. The Most High God, man. That He literally deliver you out of the things that's to come. All the things that happen to the prophets, right? I mean, that will happen to us. All the things that happen to the Israelites, right? Getting put to death, right? Getting chased, right? Getting haunted, by Esau, not eating for a couple days and a famine and things of that manner, right? That's hope that the Most High God will feed you. Send that raven, right? Send that raven and, give you some bread, right? Direct your spirit to be able to go to a lake and drink water. And there's no other animals, no wolves or anything that's surrounding you, but just you and that lake, man. And it's peace. You don't hear no screaming. You don't hear anything of that, man. You don't hear nothing, no beast or nothing, right? You got to have hope in that. And this was literally written for us just so the Lord didn't have to do this, man. He gave us literally a head start. I mean, how else can we put it? He gave us a head start, and it gives you that strength to let you know that, hey, have faith in me, man. I put these things on the earth, and I can save you from it. Literally, right? So I got an account too. I'm gonna bring out Matthew chapter 9, in verse 20, from the woman that was that had a disease, issue of blood for 12 years, because that's faith. I mean, a Lord willing, not be able to touch the hem of Yahweh Shai's garment, right? The whole multitude was touching Yahweh Shai and they was being healed. You know how much faith you gotta have to know that if I touch this man, I'm gonna be healed. Whatever that you have, right? I seen that. Yeah, that's a mighty point. Even Job as well. Job went through damn bankruptcy, man. He lost his house, his crib, his kids, his woman. Really, through the spirit, he lost his woman because she damn near turned on the Most High. So like everything, all hell broke loose, but Job still had integrity, right? Job still had faith in the Lord. He was a perfect man. A perfect man, damn fainting through the spirit, he still strive forth. And I felt that before, man. Of what I went through. That's light. Right? I'm gonna bring out Matthew chapter 9, verse 20. It says, and behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. Right? I'm gonna jump up to 18. It says, well, spake these things unto them. Behold, there came a certain ruler who worshiped Salakia. Let me see. Right, I'm gonna read on down. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. Hey, she said that within herself. She believed that. If you believe that a chair is gonna literally get you out of this place, you have to believe that. You can't just say you like Jake just be saying anything, man. Hey, man, I'll put pause on him. I get man, what? I'll get on there with him. Then when he come in that situation, he don't do anything. Not saying towards your own brother, but Jake in the world, they do a lot of things. But the point, right? You have to believe that. So if you believe that a chair is gonna lift you up, right, in a situation that you think or that you can get out of, you think you may not get out, right? Hey man, you have to believe that, right? Read on. I'm gonna read that again. For she said within herself, if I may be touched his garment, I shall be whole. But Yahushua turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort, thy faith hath made thee whole. So do you have faith that the Lord can make you whole? Dealing with the lust spirit, you sick, you dealing with infirmities, right? You having evil thoughts, right? You thinking about smoking again. You thinking about all these things, but do you have faith in Yahweh about Shem Yahushua that he'll make you whole, right? Because he know all these things we go through. He knows that we struggling with certain things that we used to deal with in the world. He knows that. But if you have faith that he can make you whole, hey man, you're gonna be made whole. I mean, she was made whole by touching him. I mean, he was walking on this earth, man. So I could just imagine, you know what I'm saying, seeing Yahushua, again, which we seen him in the ancient world. We just don't remember. The Lord takes that out. But, you know, when we see him again, I mean, you know how much faith that is to be able to see him? We have faith that we will see him, and we seen him walking right now. Walking right now. And we ain't gonna go too deep. But he probably, his walk got a lot of salt, man. You just see him walking with all that glory and power, man. And you have faith like, damn, I really did believe he's here for real. Hey, you gotta believe that. You have to say that within yourself. You damn not have to imagine. Cause she imagined, hey, if I touch him, hey, if I touch him in his garment, hey, I'm gonna be made whole. A disease, an issue of blood, 12 years, man. Right? I don't know if the brother got anything else, but hey, what is faith? That's literally confidence in the Lord. That's literally strength. You relying on something that you relying on something that's the only thing that you can hope for. That's like the only thing that's on the list. Can't believe in myself, right? I can't have faith in myself. I can't have the guns that I have. I can't have faith in my car. I can't have faith in my legs, right? Yourself. You got to check everything on the list. This world, this government, you already know this government that you can't, I mean, built to destroy us. You have to check everything on the list. The last thing that ain't checked is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's the only thing that's going to save you. That's your strength right there. But you got it.
I just wanted to bring out this last closing precept, right? I'm gonna go with this one in James. And first, before I get it, just to address what the mighty brother or the mighty sister in the comment is talking about. It said, I think of Job when I go through hard times. My family are black Jamaicans, but we live in London. We get mistreated by the police here, but I know it's even worse in America. And I mean, I think it's bad for any of the Israelites because over there in London, they just passed a law to where you can go to prison for what you retweeting on Twitter. You can go to, literally, the dude just got 20 months in prison for a Facebook post over there in the UK. I'm not sure what it's called. They got a billion names, but I hope I'm not butchering it. But and then to answer this question, did God ask Job to sacrifice his son? I think so. I'm not sure. I think you're thinking of Abraham, but you know what I'm saying? Brother can correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's Abraham. She talking about Abraham.
It was Abraham, but either way, that was a tremendous show of faith. I mean, listen, I got a son, man. That'll grievously vex me if I had to go through that, right? But I just wanted to make sure I got to your questions. You know what I'm saying? We want to interact with the people. We here to answer the questions. Oh, Salaki, it's a lady. So sis, yeah. That was Abraham. And Abraham and Isaac. But I want to get this last closing precept before we close out. It's James chapter 2 and verse, I'm going to go with verse number 14. It says, what doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? And this is a rhetorical question. Obviously not. You can't just believe that you, like the brother Kaswan said earlier, you can't just believe you're going to get a job and then just don't fill out no applications. You just expect Indeed to work the opposite way, to where they applying for employees, not you applying for an employer. It doesn't make sense. So it's a rhetorical question. Verse 15, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, if they naked, they homeless, they don't know where to stay, they don't have no food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, you tell them, hey, you good, man, go ahead. Be full. Let your stomach be full from this moment forward. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, which is bread and water. What doth it profit? It doesn't profit anything. I can't just tell you, if you depressed because your wife committed adultery, it's more fish in the sea. That's not going to help anything. I have to be there to comfort my brother, like Job, like the sister brought out. Job, his friends was there to comfort him. I believe it was 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. That's a long time to just be there for your guy. You know what I'm saying? And just be that emotional support. That's real brotherly love right there. But I want to finish this off. Verse 17, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works. Meaning you got faith, but you don't have no works. You a Christian. You a Catholic. You into Catholicism. You into Islam. You into whatever. You got some faith in some higher power. That's what they always tell us at camp. I don't believe in God, but I believe in a higher power, which makes no sense, but that's neither here nor there. Shew me thy faith without thy works. I will shew thee my faith by my works. We show faith by doing these videos. Whether we get 2 viewers, 1 viewer, 0, I didn't see the number fluctuate. Guess what? We got enough faith. Hey, the people who need to see it, the people who the Lord want to see it, they're going to see this video. You know what I'm saying? I have faith coming into this truth, man. I like we brought out earlier. We never seen Yahweh Shah. I don't know what he looked like. I ain't got no selfie. You know how they be when they run into LeBron, they run into Chris Brown, they all, you know, they turn into groupies and they got the phone up and they want to take the selfie. I don't have no picture of Yahweh Shah. I don't have no picture of David. I don't have no picture of Abraham, but guess what? We got that faith, man. That's why we do these videos. That's why we go to camp every Friday and Saturday to bring this word up. If it wasn't for brothers having, I'm gonna end it off with this. I'm gonna read this last verse and then I'm gonna end it off. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. So, hey, guess what? The devils believe it's one God and they tremble at that one God. You know what I'm saying? But me coming into the truth, if it wasn't certain brothers who was outside doing the work that day when I drove past, when I was on my way to do that wickedness I was on my way to do, if they wouldn't have had that faith, like, hey, we gonna catch one of the sheep today, I wouldn't be here. Literally, that conversation is what brought me fully into the truth. Them brothers standing on that corner, preaching that word with the faith that they gonna run into somebody who need to hear this word. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate the sister for interacting with us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's this stigma on the Israelites that we just yell at people and we want to fight and put it. No, man. We here for the people. You know what I'm saying? Just like people was here for me and this mighty brother over here, Shema, we here for the people. Because we have that faith that, hey, as long as we reach one and teach one, we can get up out of here just that much sooner. But that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Mighty video. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Remember, keep that faith, man, which, like the brother Shema said, is that confidence. You gotta have confidence in the Most High, 99%, 99.9%, and have that 0.1% confidence in yourself that you can do it. But with that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Kwame Yasharala, and Shalom.
Shalom.